the rainbow is seen over them. They're worried about themselves, their spirit form, their soul form, all the forms. They become idolaters because they're not worried about serving the Holy One. They're not deemed worthy of receiving Eliyahu, let alone someone else. Someone else, you mean the Akar? Scary. Let's keep reading. But it is beneficent, to them that I live in the world and support it. For during my lifetime, the world will not be sorrowful, nor suffer judgment from above. After me, there will never be such a generation as this. The world be such that there will be no one to protect them. And there will be impudence both above and below also, because of the transgressions below and their impudence. Oh, you better find your right now, folks. Fear of God. The people in the world will cry out, but there will be no one to protect them. They will look to all the directions of the world, but shall not return with a remedy. I have found but one remedy in the world, and no more. Wherever there will be people who are occupied in the Torah, and a scroll of the Torah with them, without any error, when it will be taken out, the upper and lower beings will be roused, especially if the holy name therein is properly written, as we have already learned. Can you give me a sticky tag, please? Cool. Oh. I need to tag this part of the book. Woe, and there it is, 22 letters to the generation. This is so important to understand what woe is. Woe, man, or woe, like woe to you, sorrow. But it is without the 22 holy Hebrew letters. To understand there's a value, there's two vibes, two bindings of the spirit, as it were. Woe to that generation where the scroll of the Torah is banished, but no one was awakened above or below. Who shall be roused to pray when the world is in great sorrow and in need of rain, as the scroll of the Torah is further banished because of the hardship in the world? Oh, things are tough, so you abandon your king. You didn't get to eat what you wanted. Oh, God help us all. When the world is in sorrow and people ask for mercy by the graves, all the dead are aroused to ask on behalf of the world, for the Nefesh hastens to tell the Ruach that the scroll of the Torah is in exile and has been exiled due to hardship in the world, and the living have come to ask for mercy. Then the Ruach informs the Neshama, and the Neshama, the Holy One, blessed be He, its ascension, then is the Holy One, blessed be He, aroused in pity on the world. All this is caused by the exile of the scroll of the Torah from its place. We ought to do what God say. We ought to follow the Torah. The living came to ask for mercy upon the graves of the dead. You'll pray for your dead ones. Let's talk about it. Say it right here in the Torah. The exile of the Torah scroll from its place, then the living come to ask mercy upon the graves of the dead. Woe to the generation which must exile the Torah, the scroll of the Torah, from place to place, or even from one synagogue to another. For there will be no one among them to take care of them. Yet no man knows this. For when the Shekinah was exiled the last time, in order not to go up above, it is written, Oh, that I were in the wilderness, in a lodging place of wayfaring men. Yirmiyahu 9:1. Later, in a time of great distress for the world, she was. Also in the exile of the scroll of the Torah, she is there, and everyone is stirred for her, the upper and lower beings. Rabbi Shimon said, Bina, had those stupid Babylonians known the secret verses of wisdom, such as why the world exists, or why is supporting pillars quake when it is in distress, they would know the worth of Rab Hamnuna Saba, who dwelt among them without their knowing his worth. I find that his words are connected to those of King Shalomah in the high secret of wisdom, but they did not guess his worth. Tisk, tisk. Now thy strive after words of wisdom, but there is no one to uncover and no one to teach it. With all that, there are sages among them in the field of establishing the beginning of the months and the intercalculation of years, though it is not their duty. (324) We have learned that the nefesh is attached to the body inside the grave for 12 months, and that they are judged together, except the nefesh of the righteous, as we explained. It dwells inside the grave and feels pain, and the pain of the living, yet it does not strive for them. After 12 months, the nefesh dons a garment and goes to roam about the world and learns certain things from the ruach. It strives to ask for mercy for the world's pain and to feel the sorrow of the living. Who rouses all that? When there is a righteous man in the world, he duly informs them. The righteous is well known among them. For we have learned that when there remains a righteous man in the world, known among the living and the dead, he is proclaimed every day when the world is in great distress and he cannot protect the people. He informs them of the pain in the world. When there is no proclaimed righteous among them, and no one to stir about the sorrow of the world, but a scroll of the Torah, then the upper and lower are stirred for its sake. Yet at that time, everyone should do penance, for if they do not, the accusers are aroused upon them. As the Ruach in the Garden of Eden is also stirred for the sake of the scroll of the Torah, as we have learned. We learned, and I will lie with my fathers, namely in body, nefesh, ruach, and neshama, all included within one chariot of a high grade. One chariot of a high grade, folks. Rabbi Yehuda said, how senseless are the children in the world who do not know, nor care, hear or see what happens in the world, that the Holy One, blessed be He, is filled with mercy for the world at any time and season, but no one pays attention. Tali means dragon. But no one pays attention. 3 times a day, a certain spirit comes into the cave of Machpelah. The cave of Machpelah. And there it is. Da Machpelah. Mem. Sorry. Oh. Dalet is of. And then to carry. Pelat. You spell it different. What to look for. And breathes over the tombs of the fathers, so their bones are healed and they endure. That's Chokmah. The Spirit draws dew, tal, again tal, 39, from over the king's head, which anoints. There the supernal patriarchs are. When the dew flows, the lower patriarchs are awakened. The The teacher teaches, and they wake up. We have learned that the dew flows down certain grades, one grade after another, and reaches the lower Garden of Eden, where the perfumes are bathed in it. Then a certain spirit awakens. Again, try to follow the scanning of the Aramaic. Then a certain spirit awakens, which comprises two others. A spirit that comprises two others. It ascends and hovers above the perfumes and comes in through the opening of the cave. Then the patriarchs are awakened with their wives and ask for mercy for their children. And that's Kesed, Gevurah, and Tirah. And then, okay, when the world is in distress. When the world is in distress, and due to its sin, the patriarchs are asleep, and the dew does not arouse them, for it cannot be found or drawn. When the scroll of the Torah is stirred in the world, the nefesh, that's the soul, informs the ruach, spirit, and the ruach, the neshama, which tells the Holy One, blessed be He. The king then sits on the throne of mercy and draws from the supernal Atika Kadisha, the crystal dew, which flows upon the king's head. Indeed. And the patriarchs are blessed. The dew then flows upon the sleeping, who then join. And the Holy One, blessed be He, then has mercy upon the world. We have learned that the Holy One, blessed be He, does not have mercy on the world until He notifies the patriarchs, and for their merit the world is blessed. Rabbi Yossi said, surely this is so. I also found it in the book of King Shalamah, the High One, who is called Every Wise Counsel. Rav Hamnuna Saba. Hamnuna, the elder, also said the same, and that it was revealed to him in a dream that Rachel achieved more by standing at the highway whenever the world is in need. The secret of this matter is that the ark, its covering, and the cherubs are in the portion of Benjamin, who was born on the highway, and the Shekinah is above. Amen. Into the reading. That is a really big statement. So let's find Aaron. You know, Aaron, Moshe and Aaron, and there's these, that's an ark, right? And that's the va-kaforot, that's its lid, its covering, right? And so here's the binding, nail binding to kaf is to carry or cover, right? The mouth. This is the mouth filling, emptying. Nail binding, the form of the hand of God. So what's amazing about this is you have par. Okay. And then there's another portion to that. You can see cherub. So this is the cherub, which is a sword. Kaf resh bait. Say cherubim. Okay, that's 222 right here. So if you were looking at this construction, Aaron, kaforot, cherubim, in the portion, Benjamin. Okay, so here's Benjamin, of Benjamin. Okay, in case you're wondering, here's Cole. So the two wings over the ark are Sandalphon and Metatron. They are the two cherubs whose wings touch. So this is specifically Kesed Gevurah Tiferet build as we're being shown in the Malchus down below. So this is so the highway that they're talking about is the Yitzhar Tov. Let me show you. I gotta get a picture from Master Yira. See, that's the thing. If we just read it, it says, "I'll take you to the land I'll show you, the land of your fathers, not the land I'll tell you about." So if it's reading this, we're missing, like we hear, but we can't see. So let's talk about this really quick. Welcome to the highway. And you are at a crossroads, and at the crossroads, you're going to meet the devil. So this is the tree of life, and we're told not to take from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And so the comprehension of that is that everyone's made of white bones, red flesh, yellow eye boogers, yellow piss. You're going to shit brown. And there's nothing you can say about it. And the sun has so many hours in a day, whether you like it or not, because all that stuff is under the wisdom, because we have mental form, we think stuff, we feel some kind of way. I feel all kind of whatever way, but that don't change white bones, red flesh. So these mysteries that are higher is the head. Down here is the highway. Down here is Metatron's cube. This would be called Metatron. And then down here, Sandalphon handles the wheels. These two angels over the ark. And saying you have the moon and the sun, and you have the planet Earth in between as Esod. All of these things are over and over being shown to us. Here's your right and left brains. Here's your right eye, left eye, nose, right ear, left ear, mouth, and in your neck hole. And then you screw that on top of the same tree up here. It all fits into your kether here, the crown of the lower tree. Is your right arm, left arm, torso, right leg, left leg, your loins, and then the world around all y'all. So when you see these constructs, you see the highway, you're at the crossroads. You're at the crossroads of the devil. Why? Because 7 letters fell if you're in the know, and that's Shaitan. Shin, Tet, Nun, Ein, Zain, Sadik, and Gimel. That's the letter Shin, Tet, Nun, Ein for Azazel, so Shaitan, then Aza and Azazel, that's Ein and Zain. Mashiach is Sadik, that fell in a pit. And then down here is Gimel, that's Sadik. And then Gimel is a camel serpent, Gimel, camel, that Samael rode down on. So this is the 7 that fell, that 1/3 of heaven. What's that mean? 22 letters divided by those 7 that fell is 3.14. And that's for a gematria contra. That counts for pi, basically. We're talking about pi. And so it says that like the devil sits at the crossroads. They don't even know what they're saying. Really, they're talking about these forms. We're supposed to be center column. They will come against you in one way and flee in 7. The Torah is the written Torah. Down here we have the oral Torah, which has to do with like the Zohar, the manifestation in reality. Because reality, okay, so construct Torah, the mother's Torah, Bina, this gives her garments to reality down here. And so really what that means is eyes on nose, nose on mouth, head on chest, chest on tummy. Every animal in existence will have this build. And all the people. And they'll have white bones and red flesh. This is a construct, and its principle is above these crossroads. Because who gives a fuck what you think really about that shit? God, these are God principles. We're talking about reality. Reality, now we can manifest the manifestation of those by go look at Mr. Rabbit. Go look at every entity in front of you. Go stare in the mirror. You're going to find out that those principles are above what you think, feel, or otherwise, or even that you're a spark of the endless. Because we all justify our bullshit with selfish pride. Aren't I a spark of the endless? Aren't we all holy Moshe? Sure. That's what leads us right down. Oh, I want to be free. I have these desires. I want something. And don't you know I'm part of God? I want something, and I'm a spark of the endless. Don't you? You better give me what I want, or else you get the hode. Because he limped in his hode. You go to the crossroads, and you're ruled by your forms. You're no longer caring about God or what you're here for. You're here to serve God. You're all worried about what you got. What you get to eat, who you get to fuck, who you get to whatever. Your bills, your sorrows, all that. You completely abandon God. You need to give your 22 letters, you need to learn them and give them to your kids, whether or not you got beans on your table. This is very serious, because we're talking about God, we're talking about life and death, we're talking about souls, we're talking about the future and the world to come, the manifestation of year. And if you don't have this construct, you don't know what I'm talking about. And that's scary, because we need to restore a breach in information. The information is that there are 22 holy letters. I just told you 7 of them fell. That's 1/3. That's pi for mathematics. There's no separation between numbers and letters. They lied to us. Letters have a value. Aleph is 1. It means air, variable gases, and the number 1. It's very important to understand Aleph separates mem from shin. And if you don't have the 22 holy Hebrew letters and the 10 sephiroth, you don't have the construct, so things I'm telling you are just going to float right by. And the whole world does not know. We literally just read about that in the Zohar. So how are you going to find King Messiah, who's been anointed by God, to do any of the things that are supposed to be done if you don't have the ability to see or hear? And that's the problem with the whole world. They blind. They don't have a king. Take me to your leader, folks. Oh, you can't. I assure you it ain't the one with the most money here. So it's really understand that in the world to come, King Messiah is manifesting, and he's giving us a job. Not only is he healing our psyche, you're not your past experiences. You're not your trauma, so stop reliving it. That's the serpent. The serpent builds up on these things. Like, these are forms, and it builds up like dross. And this is all straight up, right through Master Yurt's hard works. He shows us the label. He spent all his years putting down this information for us. There's a holy name giving us the worlds. Asiya, that's where the Nefesh is. The Ruach, the spirit, is in the world of Yetzirah, and that's where the crossroads are. Of course, who could hear such things, right? Because everybody's thinking about a stop sign, or you go first or I go first. That it's forbidden to do that. Here's, hey, the world of Berea constructs, and up here, the true wisdom from Keter above the tip of the Yud, and then Yud Chokmah. And again, it's the same construct we just seen. Keter, Chokmah, Bina, it's just looked up, it's lined up different. So Master has gone through and showed us the lower 7. We're getting trapped in the crossroads of forms. So now we've lost sight of truth, of Chokmah. And they all thought there was all judges in those days. They all did what they thought was right in their own eyes because they had no king. How's that working out for you, right? And so here's the 7 forms, and this is why it's called Knesset Israel, right? Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Hotov, the good inclination and the evil inclination, and the physical form takes from all of that. Good times, bad times, these are just experiences. It's not reality. Whether or not you enjoyed an apple by its flavor isn't reality. You're not experiencing that thing. These principles are eternal. And you can immediately see Aleph, meaning air, variable, and gases, separates liquids and solids, right? That's earth and stone, water and stone, from fire. Shin, covering for the light. No, shin's a covering for the light. It's not the light itself. So down here, Aleph, right, separates mem from shin. And so we can see in the same construct, eyes that see the light, nose that breathes the air, mouth that takes in liquids and solids. This is something that's eternal, and there's no opinion about it. Say what you want, there's no opinion about the eyes see a covering of light upon solids, that nose breathes air, and that mouths take in liquids and solids. And the same thing, your head operates your body via the light signals, shin. Your mouth is, shin. Your chest, right, is then connected down from here, connects to your chest, which pumps the air, your lungs, and that's above your stomach that digests the liquids and solids. And so here it is. Aleph separates mem from shin, and this is through all the constructs. All of them have that same construct. So down here in Asiya, reality, you can see down here on the tree, all the way down at the bottom, we all live in the world of Asiya, reality, and we have within us the world of Yetzirah. And in the world of Yetzirah, think of all the possibilities that you can come up with. Like the infinite possibilities, like you can dress grandma in a pink bunny suit and you can fly. That's all Yetzirah, and you can think all you want, feel all you want about it. And then you express it onto reality by opening your pie hole. And when you do that, it says, do not allow your mouth to cause you to sin, because you're already having difficulties up here. It's the mido. It says, hate the sin, not the sinner. And you are not your past experiences. None of you are. What happens is that these experiences that we have build, and it builds like serpents. And so this book itself is free, and you can get it from Master Yura. It's free. Go to @Yura, and you can get this whole thing for free. Then you can really see the whole. There's so much more to it. I don't have time right now, but even Mr. Bunny follows the same pattern, right? And so we can see that in your face and even the environment. So we're following these principles that are permanent. And then as we see like browser history, right? They build up. You go to a place and then it says, oh, do you like this commercial, et cetera, et cetera. Every time you go do something, you go enjoy the thing you like or don't enjoy the thing you hate. This is the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Tov growing like hair or serpents. And every time you have this experience, the nations run their whole life filtering reality through what they think, feel, or have been exposed to themselves. But that's not reality. That's just an experience. And so this builds like a serpent and like one collective serpent joining all these 7-headed snakes. I don't know if you can see it very clearly, but there's a really cool design. 7-headed serpents are the dross that grows out of these places like hair, right? Because we have emotions, but we're not our emotions. And then the serpent eats the dust. The dust that is what? Oh, do you remember that thing that happened to me? And don't you remember how I endured it? And it wasn't fair, and it made me feel this way. All that stuff, and then we just go around spinning in circles and circles. And that's when the forms are eating the dust instead of living your life connected to Hashem. And the only way through, you can't fix a problem unless you have a problem, unless you see the problem. So this is where I said the serpent spoke to the woman. The woman is a receiver, a female. And so we are all females, receivers of the light. So the Holy Torah will guide us through that because it says, gather thyself into the center column. And this is where he went from Jacob to Israel. Israel absolutely is the 231 gates in the center column. And so by following this construct, now we can see a little bit more about what's been revealed in the Zohar. And by having some of these constructs, right, we can actually talk about some of the prerequisites that were required to even have this lesson. Because if you just stumbled in here from the dark and don't know what we're doing, we're reading Zohar Book 7. There you go. Zohar HaKodesh, which is talking about the Torah. And again, the Torah is the 5 books of Moshe. Here's my Tanakh. It's a little beat up. I've been reading it real hard. But you can see, you can go right here and see right in the beginning. Here's Genesis 1:1 in English, but there it is in Hebrew. Bereshis bara Elohim et Hashemayim va'et haaretz. Va'haaretz. Ha'ita tohu va'bohu va'koshek ofenei tachom va'ruach Elohim marukfet ol peni ha'mayim. Right? And then it says, Vayamor Elohim yehi or va'yehi or. But who could hear such things? So as we read the Zohar, that's Hebrew because it's actual 5 books of Moshe. And here we're using the Aramaic to look through a little bit more. But we're seeing some identifications from Shemos. They're saying that Rab Hamnuna said something. And they're missing the highway. And so it says it was born on the highway. A portion born on the highway. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. If you know that from the scriptures and the legends of the Jews, Benjamin is a ravenous wolf type thing. It knows that he was rough on the highway. It's a portion of the highway. And what happened is when he was with his dad had medicine, and with the medicine, he would be okay. Otherwise, he would attack people, etc., on the way. So it's important to understand some of the things we're talking about with the comprehension, with the prerequisites, and understand some of the wording that's being used. Because if you don't have the wording, if you don't have the structures, as it were, if you don't know what a kesed is, you're not going to understand that there's a location. Kesed la Abraham, it's hard to see in the blue. That's Ket, Samek, Damet. Ket, Samek, and Dalet. It says Kesed la Abraham in the scriptures. And so you can see Abraham is socketed here, Isaac, and Yaakov is in Tiferes. So, Baruch Hashem. Thank you all for studying Zohar with me for a little while. All glory to Hashem. Thank you, Yura, for making a way through the sea. Go to At School and learn some things. See you at Yura. Shalom, Lala Tov, Yom Tov, and happy holidays, everyone. Many blessings.